Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase, pricing, and availability questions concerning this watch. And this watch was probably the piece that inspired the most questions of any model for which I was queried in 2025. So you're looking at the IWC Ingenieur Automatic 40 Sonny Hayes F1 Movie Edition. This is the 328908, and it is a 1,000-piece steel limited edition based on the prop watch that Brad Pitt wore in the movie F1. Now, I saw this watch before the movie came out, and I had trepidation because racing movies can be absolutely awful, as with Driven, and awesome, as with Rush, and you don't know what you're going to get. Well, F1 the movie was a blockbuster, critically acclaimed, and actually got a Best Picture nomination, which I didn't see coming. So that burnishes the credentials of this watch immensely. But the reason people ask me probably had less to do with the movie and much more to do with the way it looks. So let's talk a little bit about the basics, and then we'll delve into that and why you can't actually buy the watch that was in the movie. So this watch is 40 millimeters in diameter in steel. It's 11 millimeters thick, and if I just measure it lug to lug, it's a fairly compact watch at 45.6 millimeters. Now, the watch is fairly heavy. It's a bit of a tank. People ask me, why do you think these current generation Ingenieur watches are worth what IWC asks for them? And they are dear, but when you realize this is 156 grams, that is very substantial for a full steel watch. It feels like a luxury product. On the wrist, you don't necessarily need to be big and buff to wear the Sonny Hayes. Sonny is, but I'm not. You can see it wears just fine. It's a flat watch. It'll easily slip under a cuff, and you can see from lug to lug, I have plenty of clearance here, so I think you could wear this well on a wrist as small as 14 centimeters. Once again, mine is 16. The bracelet is very nicely made, and I think, at least in a sensual aspect, or a sensual sense, this is where you feel like the watch is really worth its price. It's a very solid assembly. There's very little play in it. It's got a wonderful supple feel when you move it in the direction of the pivots, very little play when you move it against them. You can see we've got polished shoulders. The outer faces are satinated. We have these polished intermediates. All of this is drawn from the design language of Gerald Genta's famous 1832 Ingenieur SL of 1976. For a couple of years, from about 2016 to 2000 and it seems maybe 24, IWC was really caught up in copying the style of the 1950s and 60s Ingenieur, bringing back the traditional Gerald Genta integrated bracelet design, which, given the design and taste currents of our time, seems almost like an irony that they had a genuine Genta designed full bracelet watch and they had to revive it. Most companies would keep that in steady rotation, but hey, IWC, all is forgiven. The Genta design is back. Now we have removable links here, and you can see there are quite a few of them. Now, just about every link here can be removed fairly easily, and so we've got a lot of sizing adjustability. All of these links with little lateral bars visible are removable, and you can see there are intermediate size links in case you find yourself in between sizes. Taking a look at the clasp, you can see this is the only part of the watch that feels a little bit like an off-the-shelf component, as I've definitely seen this Brogioli built clasp on a lot of watches. Twin trigger release though, which means it is a sports watch clasp. It's not going to pop open inadvertently, and you can see it's a sequential close with the logo coming down on top of the engine turning in that order. Rolling around to the case, it's a nice, handsome, and thin watch. In spite of being very water resistant at 100 meters with a screw down crown and anti-magnetic with a soft iron inner core to protect the hairspring from magnetic fields, this could have been a lot thicker and bulkier, and I think IWC learned its lesson from the Ingenieurs of the 2000s and the first half of the 2010s. The original watch of 76 was not huge or thick, and that's really the best way to build a modern Ingenieur. Keep it relatively thin, keep it Nautilus-like, because they do share a lot of design philosophy, and the Nautilus 5711 and back in the day the 3700, very thin watches. The case finishing is attractive here, and you could see that this is probably where IWC decided to take the most liberties with the design, translating Genta into something a little bit more modern. We have several facets, polished bevels. You can see that breaks between satin and polish. We do have a bezel, and if you get really close and you look at this bezel, you can see there's really no seam between the bezel and the case. It's a super, super tight assembly where everything comes across as hewn from billet. Taking a look at the bezel now, we have 1, 2, 3 facets, and then we have these assembly style bolts up at the top to give it that 70s aesthetic, true to the original. Now, the dial is described by IWC as a grid pattern and nothing more. Now, that's how they describe the standard Ingenieur, though in a racing sense, that does carry a secondary meaning, as the grid, or the lineup of cars at the beginning of an F1 race, determines the starting order. And you can see here an unusual feature with these double-digit dates. So we've got 01, 02, 03, a little bit like the countdown to the beginning of a race. We have yellow gold hands and indices, and we have a dramatic sort of neon green metallic dial aesthetic that's unlike anything I've seen on any other brand. It's a good look, and it makes this watch particularly distinctive. And pop the lights off, you can see it is well loomed. Now, I mentioned you can't own the watch featured in the movie, and that watch was designed to look like a resto-modded 70s 1832 Ingenieur SL. Basically, Cloister Watch Corp, which is sort of like Atelier de Genève, but for vintage watches generally, not just for Rolex. But Atelier de Genève, of course, known for sort of modding Rolex watches. Well, Cloister Watch Corp takes genuine vintage pieces and resto mods those, a bit like a Singer Porsche. It's the bones of the vintage piece, but with a lot of modern fit finish materials and luxury flourishes. And so that prop watch made for the movie is not something you can buy. This is designed to look as close to the movie watch as possible while still staying within the current IWC model lines. And you can see here we've got a screw down crown, we've got little crown guards that are faceted and beveled, and then you can't see a whole lot through the case back, though you can see that it is individually numbered out of 1,000 pieces. It's 100 meters water resistant. Ingenieur, alluding to the presence of a soft iron paramagnetic cage around the movement, whose purpose is actually to grab the magnetic fields and channel them around the movement. This is what IWC calls caliber 32111. It's based on a Val-Fleurier caliber that you can find at other Richemont companies, but it's a credible movement, being automatic winding with a 5-day power reserve. It's got stop seconds, it's got a quick set date, 21 joules, 4 hertz beat rate, and IWC does adjust it in-house to 5 positions. So what you're getting ultimately is a very cool piece of pop culture, probably the most attractive version of the revived Genta-style Ingenieur, and a watch that's universally wearable and could easily be your only timepiece if you so chose. It is that versatile. So whether you are a driver, a technician, an ingenieur, or just an enthusiast, the Sonny Hayes has a lot to offer. So reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.